Generic greetings and welcome back to Satisfactory, where in the previous episode we were concerned with increasing our power output. If we use our Mark 1 zoom in feature here, we can see that on the far side of the factory from our current location we have a lot more power plants, and it's always important to have the power supply as pretty much the best thing in here, because without that none of this works. It's pretty much like a computer. Don't cheap out on power supplies. So that is all up and running. Obviously because of that we had to upgrade some belts, which we could do because we've got good steel production, and we also altered it over the over there where the coal supply is as well. We might overclock that, we might change things around. We'll have to see how that one goes in the long term. But in this episode, and in probably a couple of subsequent ones, we are really concerned with modular frames. At the moment, we only have one assembler for modular frames. Again, if we use our sort of dodgy zoom in feature here, we can see that that assembler, can I ping it? No, but I can take a photo apparently. That assembler over there, that one is producing the modular frames, and it's the only one we've got. And because of that, we do have a lack of them. We are producing decent motors, but we need more modular frames, and that's what this place is going to become. I've already taken the liberty of running some power over here, and what we want to do is get this sorted with some minor Mark 2s. So we want to be building probably south-ish. I think south is reasonable because there's it's quite undulating, this ground, but hopefully it's okay. Apparently I don't have a minor to place that on, so can I do that? Let me just go to equipment workshop and I'll build a portable miner, and then I'll sort that out. So I'll pick that up, and then once again let me sort that because I have got a full bag, which is not good, and then we'll place another portable miner in and around the same orientation, and there we go. So that's two portable miners. If we look at it, we can see that we've got 60 per minute, so assuming we're smelting with two, that's not that great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a double overclock on this one. So that should take the iron ore up to 120 a minute for each one, and when we connect it up, we'll just see if that's a lie or not. I don't think it will be, and yeah, simple maths, good job done. So they're all connected up. We're going to do the same here, so that would require a total of 4 smelters for each one of these, so let's do just that. As I said, we're rolling up our sleeves here and putting a proper shift in. From this one, because this is the furthest one ahead, we'll place 1, 2, I'll place this manually, 3, and then 4, and then we'll have a little bit of a gap just so we can squeeze past. 1, 2, 3, and this one might be a little bit more problematic. It'll go in somewhere, and then 4. So that is our smelters. These are all going to smelt the iron ingots. So we're going to dump in a lot of the iron that I've got on me, because why not? Just frees up some bag space there. We'll set all these to iron ingots, and obviously we do need to use splitters as well and connect them all up. But like I say, our main concern is really getting the modular frames, but that also requires all sorts of stuff actually. So we'll need constructors and we'll need assemblers. So the assembler, we'll look at that, we can see we need modular frames. Modular frames require iron rods and reinforced iron plate. For the iron rods, well, we can just produce those straight off of one of these. For the reinforced iron plate, we only have one plan, and that is iron plate and screws. For screws, we do have two options. We can either use the we get 6 screws or 12 screws, but we could use that one there and that one there. I'll probably go for the alternate screws in this case, just to shorten it down. So that would require, still requires iron rod for the original screws, and that one requires just the straight iron ore. We're still going to have to produce the iron rods, but we won't have to have as many. Okay, so that's not too much of a problem. Well, like I say, we'll do all of the... Are these full already? Good grief, they are. Also, what's our power like? Our power is, perfectly acceptable. Okay, so we're going to output from here, and then we need to go into these 4, which is problematic because we don't have 4. So what we'll do is we'll say a splitter, and we're going to put the entrance, yeah, I guess it is, into it there, and then we'll put the other one into it on the other side. Actually, yeah, that should be fine. About there, and then from here it goes just into that one there, and the same for this side, just with a bit more, just with a little bit more space saving needed. There, and then finally from here it will go as close as I can in there, and let's just see if that is going to go alright. Conveyor belt Mark 3s just because we can, there's no reason. Nah, that's a problem. Let me pick these up and put it further back. That's going to be a problem. I don't think I've got the space, but we'll see. So apparently that is acceptable. I can guarantee. Oh no, I was going to say. Yeah, that's a problem. Okay. We don't have the space. Okay, different plan then. From there, we will come out to a splitter and we'll rotate it around this time, so it's in there. But I still don't think we're going to have the room because that needs to go to there and that needs to go to there. Oh, it will work. Okay, will that work? It will work. That's already in, and then from this one into there, and then what I was originally going to do, which is that. So that's all them now connected up. Same thing for this bit here. So in there. And then that'll be a lot of smelting, and obviously power will be used as well. Once we connect them up, you understand, they generally only use power once connected up. As a rule, you understand. So let's do all of that. I'll see if I can plunk that in here. I don't think I can. Although there was a section where it did, yeah, it was going to be placed there, that's fine. And then once again, in and around. You can't stand these belts because you just you're off. So there's all of those. Obviously we're going to go for the 2 into 1 and then straight connection. Don't know if there's a better way of doing it, but we've followed that convention since we started, for the most part, you understand, as a rule. So we'll do that, and then that'll connect up to there, and then that means now all of these are smelting. We could overclock them, but we are not going to. So we are producing a lot of stuff. I'm going to get rid of some of that because I don't need it, and let's just sort one bag. There we are. By the way, today's beverage is coffee, black, no sugar, and also not very warm. So these are now producing a lot of iron ingots. Specifically, we're producing 30 a minute on each one, so we're producing 240 a minute in total. So, what do we need? This is where we might have to start working back over. So we'll place a constructor, and we'll place an assembler, and see roughly what we can get. So if we were going to produce the modular frames, each one of these requires 12 reinforced iron plate a minute, but if we're gonna try and aim for 2 of these assemblers to do the plates, that'll be better. So that means we require 24 plates a minute. Each plate is produced in here, and that requires 20 iron plate. Hang on then. So we'll have to overclock some of it because it just doesn't work out. So 12 of those a minute. So let's work on doing 2 of these. So 24 iron plate, reinforced iron plate. So 24 iron plate would be close to, well, it would be 4 and a bit. So yeah, that would require 100 iron plates straight off the bat. Okay. So do we just go for, and well, producing 3690. Should we just go straight off these? I don't think it's unreasonable to do that. Okay, combine 2 of these into each one. Actually no, because it's 20. Okay. So we're only producing 5. So we need 5 of these. I think we'll go with 4 and we'll do a bit of overclocking. That's probably the way to get it done. I think that's what we'll end up doing, just putting the rough amount in and then overclock plus and minus to get it about right. As long as at the end of it we have the two factories of modular frames, we can do the overclocking as need be. So we need 5. Do we want to go with 5 or should we do 4? 5 would give us more than enough. In fact, it would give us 1 spare, wouldn't it? Yeah, we'll go with 5 of these, which requires 100. So we'd have to have pretty much these 4 doing iron plate. Okay, let's work on that then. Work on that principle. So we'll go for a merger, and we'll merge. Where's the factory going to be? probably actually go from this side. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. Obviously, we can only merge at the moment anyway. We can only merge... do you want to merge 2, 2 and then 1? It's probably not unreasonable to assume we can do that. 2, 2, 1. And then those will go into that. Right. So there, 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 and then there. And then that, both of these can go into that one. We don't need to use the tier 3s, you understand. It's just we've got loads of steel, so I might as well. Right. So that's all of that. And that comes out to 5. 5 assemblers. Okay. Obviously, we still haven't got the other stuff that we need, which I should check on anyway. Other stuff that we need for the reinforced plate. The screws, which is going to be coming from there. Okay, fine. So what I'll do, 5 of these. So assemblers. Line it up. That's the orientation is correct. 1. I'm not going to put them right next to each other. We're going to leave... That was just flicked to the wrong place, which is a shame. Leave a bit of a gap between them just so we can get the belts in. Because obviously we're going to have belts going up and over. And as a massive hint of irony once again, we actually need the... we need the modular frames, which we could probably make... Hang on a sec. Right. Could we make them here? Can we make them ourselves? Because I only need 1 more for now. Yeah, we can. 1, 2, 3. Just use loads of them. That'll do us. Okay. And then 1 more. I don't know where the screw factory is going to go. It's going to have to go off to some side. Okay, so each one of these is set to reinforced plates. And we just need to now connect it up. So, you know what? Do we really need to split? Do we need to combine them? We really don't, do we? Instead, I will do that. And, oh, it would be best. It would be best because... Yeah, I think actually we could do that. If we don't, and we have these 2 feeding 3 and the other one feeding 1, would that be right? It would be 60. Oh no, that worked. That worked totally fine, I think. 60, 2, 4, 6, and then 2, 4 with a bit remaining. Oh, that's fine then. We'll do it that way. Okay. We'll do it that way. So we'll have a splitter and sit in there. And I want to put it lined up to that one. I'm leaving some space just so we can get the belts over, as I mentioned, for the other side. We'll pull this along to about there, and then we'll go in. Okay, so that's half of that. And then this one will come along to the splitter about here. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, a bit further forward because I've got the other factory stuff behind us. And they're going to be a nightmare to route out. I think we'll probably have to quad stack them. But we'll see. Okay, so from here then, we need to go into there. That's not unreasonable. We'll just do that. We'll come along. In. It's actually curving a little bit the wrong way. That's much better. And then once again along. Yeah, you can't hold the snap on this, sadly. That's curving too much as well. Put about where the ladder is, and then it's still a bit off, but it's not too bad. Okay, so there's all of those. So this is the problem now. Screws. We need 120 a minute. That's not going to happen. So 120 per minute Times 5. Okay. If we get a construct orb, we are producing 90 a minute. So that means an overclock. I think that is right, but it's not going to tell us the final output. That should be right, though. Or that'll be like 122.2 or something. Let me check. So from there... Okay. You know what? Just do that. Tell us what we have in a second. 135 a minute. But we're using 22 there. So we can probably pull that down to 140%. 35%. That's about right. That's about right. Okay. So we're using 20 a minute. We don't have enough iron, do we? 20 a minute. We're producing 30. We'll just do it. It'll just be alright, I think. Some of these are going to get overclocked. Actually, no, we can't overclock them because these are at their max factor as well. Hang on then. Future reference. Where's the nearest coal? Miles away. Good, glad, happy about that. I can see more overclocking in our future. Okay, so we need a total of 5 of those. So we will put them probably around here. Let's just clear some trees. And we should have the room. Even if we have to bring it back over, it's not really too much of a problem, is it? Because it's going to go along into there anyway, so as long as that's the line, then we're fine. And that rhymed. Which was kind. So, let's go for a constructor. And we'll place them here, I think. And it won't go in. Yes, it will. I mean, this is a massive expansion when you look at what we've already produced. The steel was a big expansion, but this is really going to change our output. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that is correct. The problem is I don't think I have enough... I don't think I have as many power slugs as I need. So, alternate screws, because we're not going to produce the iron rods. We could go for the iron rods and do it that way, but quite frankly, this is just easier for us. So these are going to come out and then go into here. It would be, quite frankly, just easier for me to combine them all as one. So we want a splitter. Even though we're going to combine them and split them, it might be a bit dodgy. So... there. And that can go back over to there. So 1, 2. And then there we go. Oh, have I been using the wrong belts? I have been using the wrong belts. Why I've been... upgrade all these. We don't need them tier 3, but we've got the resources. And I'm getting that plate back. Right, so there's all that. Now we need to just combine all these. So a merger. It's going to require a couple of mergers. How do we do it the other way? No, it's because we know if we do it that way it'll be fine. It's excessive merging, but I'm not too bothered. Why is it not going in there? Ah, because that is not correct. That's correct. And that's correct. Okay. So, 1, 2... 1 and 2, and then that goes into there, and then that, did that go? And then that should be everything going into these, which it is, at some great rate. So, I guess power. I'm also quite concerned about just how much power we're going to use here. When you consider we've got all of these, we've got overclocked Mark IIs. Should be able to work. That'll be a dead end, but it's not a problem. And we are now producing 90 screws a minute on each one. Obviously not enough, but we can get overclocking. So I think it was a 30% or 35% overclock, I think, was about right. Hang on. 133% overclock. Nope, 134. 120.6. Good enough. 134. 134. And I need 2 more power slugs. Right, let's go back. I'm just going to see what's happening there. And then we have to stack those up and take them over the top of this massive thing here. Yeah. Oh, we have to connect those up with power? I can't remember. I didn't. No, I did. Okay. So, we'll require more assemblers, which means more frames, although I did make some. Also, if I don't have the power slugs, where are we going to get them? Well, we could just look on the sides of trees, walls, inside of caves, all that sort of thing. But I think we'll have some lying around the factory somewhere. There is some frames, which we will take, and we will go and check to make sure, are we doing any overclocking? We're not doing any overclocking. What I am going to do is get stuck on a belt. There we go. You can see it's waiting for reinforced stuff. I'm going to dump some of those in because this one here is currently producing them and we're not using a lot of them, so I'll place that there. I'm just going to double check that one does have a double overclock. Do I want to keep the double overclock? I will keep the double overclock for now. Just wondering if we can get rid of some of that. Yes, we can. You can see that's slowly going down, which is a problem. So, do we have any overclocking in here? We do not, which is a shame. Vehicle inhaler and what's this? Oh, alternate modular frame. Hang on then, this might change things. I really hope it doesn't, because quite frankly, I'll be sick if this is going to make it much easier for us. Steel pipe and reinforced iron plate. No, it's not going to make it overly easy for us. I mean, yes, we could bring all that stuff down and... no, it's not going to make it easier, is it? Bringing all that stuff down. Right, so... we need a couple more slugs. We're going to have a look around here, see if there's any slugs. I wish there was an easier way to see if something is overclocked or not. I thought I overclocked one of these at some point, but I don't know if it's needed. Actually, there is a way to see if something's overclocked. You can look at the animation, and the animation is quicker. So if you see that that is the case, then you know that there is an overclock going on there. How are we doing for rotors anyway? I'm guessing quite well. Yeah, quite well. We are using them, obviously, because we're producing up there. I know we overclocked that one at the top, so... well, that's not overclocked, so I think let's just take the overclock out of this one. Take the overclock out of that. Don't need it. It's for the iron, reinforced iron plates, and quite frankly, we're not using them for belts now. That was why we had to massively increase that in the first place. So not having it for belts is fine. And that's called ugh. Okay, so we need to get up there, which is going to be a bit of a nightmare unless I try and make it a little bit easier on ourselves by doing that, and then connecting it up to a power grid, and it's just going to be easier to get up here. And okay, that goes further than I thought. No damage, no problem. So we'll connect all these up with some power. Oh, actually, let's sink it back inside like that. Reason being that we need to have the belts coming down here. We will have the belts coming down here. So there's all that. So 1 and 2. Gonna be an odd one because it's 5, but it doesn't matter. And then this can come back over to here. Can't afford that. What do you mean I can't afford it? Oh, do I not have enough? I don't have enough cable. To be fair, we've used quite a bit. But luckily, we have some spare. And we can easily get back up as well with our horizontal transport solution system. So, into there, and then into there. Well, we can't. Okay. Where do I want to connect it now? Okay, what we'll do is we'll have that there, and we will linchpin it all together. That sounded really bad, didn't it? The whole thing grind to a halt, but it was, yeah. It was just those. So, we now have a lot of stuff, and we need to get all of these overclocked. Ooh, we've got a lot of screws. All these overclocked, sent over there, and that'll produce what we need. If there's been any error in the maths, and undoubtedly there will be, because it's me doing the maths, we will tweak it via the application of overclocking. And unlike when other overclocking doesn't go right, hopefully this thing won't set on fire and burn the processor. So we'll see how it goes. As always, hope you have enjoyed the video and the series thus far. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.